ready?
Scary.
Okay, got it?
Yep.
Get it? We were able to set Maddie's hand on fire because water has a high specific heat capacity. That means it can handle a lot of heat without getting overly hot. We dipped Maddie's hand in water before we put the methane bubbles on it. Methane is flammable. Flammability is a chemical property, so the methane vapor ignited, but Maddie's hand did not.
Physical properties are characteristics of properties that can be reattained after being changed. Some physical properties are odor, density, melting point, solubility, luster, conductivity, hardness, and boiling point. Once a physical change occurs, it can always be changed back. For example, solubility. If something of salt dissolved in water, then if it was reheated, you would end up with a pile of salt. Chemical properties are characteristics of a chemical change. Some chemical properties are flammability, combustibility, rusting, and the ability to neutralize a base. When a chemical change occurs, it cannot be changed back to its original form. For example, flammability. If you burn wood, the wood can never be changed back to its original form.
Making ice cream shows a change of state from a liquid to a solid and is a real-life connection.
This is an example of a heating and cooling graph. So on the endothermic side, where the kinetic energy is increased, it starts in a solid, goes through melting. The temperature stays constant through melting, goes to a liquid, goes through vaporization, temperature constant, gas, ionization, constant temperature, into a plasma. On the exothermic side, the kinetic energy is decreased. So you go from a plasma, and it deionizes, it loses its charge, becomes a gas, temperature is constant through condensation, which goes to a liquid, freezing, solid.
Measure effectively to every 50 milliliters. That's a big difference. If you want to be precise, you got to use this one.
I mean, a lie.
Just you better stop. I'm gonna start posting.
I don't care.
Anyways, go ahead.
Hey, your device is smaller.
That's what she's
See this?
Do your picture.
The first step to making ice cream is to put ice into the bag. As so.
Let's start a hashtag. Super zoomed in pictures of Chris.
Many errors occurred in the lab that Ashley just performed. First of all, she needed to be wearing goggles and a hair tie for a safety precaution. Also, instead of directly smelling the substance, she needed to waft. And when shaking a graduated cylinder, you need to put your thumb over the top of it and shake it instead of stir it with a pipette. And don't use the beakers to mix the substances. Also, you need separate pipettes for different substances. You cannot use one pipette for the same for two different substances. And instead of holding the graduated cylinder and trying to measure it, you need to set it on the table and get an eye level and measure at the meniscus. Also, when you're adding the substances to the graduated cylinder, you need to add it slowly as to not mix them.
Density is the measure of mass per volume. It's important to use precision and be precise when you measure. When you're measuring volume, you can do it in centimeters cubed, measuring the length, the width, and the height of the object, or measure it in milliliters for the volume of a liquid.